Title: The Girl Who Could Hear Silence. In a quiet village surrounded by dense forests and whispering winds, lived a girl named Alara. Unlike others, Alara had a strange gift: she could hear silence. Not the absence of sound, but something deeper. She could hear what people didn't say. The hidden fears, the unspoken regrets, the quiet cries behind smiling faces. At first, it felt like a curse. When her mother smiled and said, "I'm fine," Alara heard the trembling truth beneath it. When villagers laughed together, she heard loneliness echoing between them. The world felt heavier for her, filled with invisible sadness no one else noticed. So she stayed quiet. She avoided crowds, spoke little, and spent most of her time near the edge of the forest, where silence felt calmer. There, the silence didn't scream, it whispered peacefully. One evening, as the sun dipped into shades of gold and crimson, Alara sat by an old oak tree. That's when she heard it. A silence unlike any before. It was calling her. Not loud, not urgent, but deep and ancient, like something waiting for her. Curious and slightly afraid, Alara stood up and followed the feeling into the forest. The deeper she walked, the quieter everything became. Even the wind stopped, even the birds disappeared. The forest felt frozen in time. And then she saw it. A small, glowing door carved into the trunk of a massive tree. Alara's heart raced. She had walked this forest many times, but she had never seen this door before. The silence around it was overwhelming, but not painful. It felt alive. She hesitated. "Should I go in?" she whispered. The silence responded, "Yes." Taking a deep breath, Alara pushed the door open and stepped inside. On the other side was a world unlike anything she had ever imagined. The sky shimmered like glass, reflecting countless emotions instead of clouds. The ground pulsed softly, as if it had a heartbeat. And everywhere around her, there were people, or rather, shadows of people. They moved slowly, like echoes of memories. Alara stepped forward carefully. "Where am I?" she asked. A voice answered, not from outside, but from within her mind. "You are in the realm of silence." Alara turned, searching for the speaker. "Who are you?" A figure emerged from the shimmering air, a woman made entirely of light and shadow. "I am the keeper," she said. "And you, Alara, are someone very rare." Alara swallowed nervously. "Why am I here?" The keeper smiled gently. "Because you can hear what others cannot. And this world is built from those unheard silences." Alara looked around again. The shadows suddenly made sense. "These are people's unspoken feelings." "Yes," the keeper replied. "Every fear, every regret, every truth left unsaid, they come here." Alara's chest tightened. "That's why I've always heard them, even in my world." The keeper nodded. "You were born connected to this realm." Alara felt overwhelmed. "But why me?" "Because," the keeper said softly, "you are meant to heal what others ignore." The keeper led Alara deeper into the realm. They passed through fields of broken whispers and rivers of forgotten tears. Everywhere Alara looked, she could feel the weight of emotions people had buried. Finally, they reached a dark, trembling area. "What is this place?" Alara asked. The keeper's expression turned serious. "This is where silence becomes dangerous." Alara frowned. "Dangerous? When emotions are ignored for too long," the keeper explained, "they don't disappear. They grow, they twist, they become something else." Suddenly, a shadow lunged toward them, a distorted figure filled with anger and pain. Alara gasped and stepped back. "What is that?" "A lost silence," the keeper said. "A feeling that was buried too deeply." The creature growled, its form flickering. With rage, Alara felt its pain. It was overwhelming. Fear, loneliness, rejection, all tangled together. "I can feel it," she whispered, tears forming in her eyes. The keeper looked at her. "Then listen to it." Alara hesitated. "It's too much." "Listen," the keeper repeated gently. Taking a shaky breath, Alara closed her eyes. Instead of resisting, she allowed herself to hear the silence. The creature's anger softened into something else. Sadness. A deep, aching sadness. Alara stepped closer. "You were hurt," she said softly. The creature paused. "No one listened to you," Alara continued. "No one saw your pain." The creature trembled. "I hear you," she whispered. For a moment, everything stopped. Then, slowly, the creature began to change. Its distorted form softened, its sharp edges fading into light. And then, it disappeared. Alara opened her eyes in shock. I helped it." The keeper smiled. "You didn't fight it. You understood it." Days passed in the realm of silence. Alara learned how to listen, not just hear, but truly understand. She helped many lost silences find peace. With everyone she healed, the realm grew brighter. But one day, the keeper seemed troubled. What's wrong? Alara asked. There is one silence, the keeper said quietly, that even I cannot reach. Alara's heart sank. Why not? Because it belongs to someone in your world, the keeper said. And it is too powerful. Alara took a deep breath. Then I'll help. The keeper looked at her carefully. This one will not be easy. I'm not afraid, Alara said. The keeper nodded. Then go back. Alara returned to her village. Everything looked the same, but she felt different. Stronger, more aware. She began listening again, but this time, she didn't run away. She helped people. When someone said, I'm fine, she gently asked, are you really? When someone laughed, she listened for the hidden sadness. Slowly, people began to open up. The village felt lighter, but then, she heard it. A silence so heavy it made her knees weak. It came from her own home. Her mother. Alara froze. She had always heard her mother's sadness, but she had never truly faced it. Now she had to. That night, Alara sat beside her mother. Mom, she said softly, are you happy? Her mother smiled. Of course I am, but Alara heard the truth. Loneliness, grief, exhaustion. Mom, Alara said, her voice trembling, you don't have to pretend. Her mother's smile faded. For a moment, there was only silence. Then tears filled her mother's eyes. I didn't want to burden you, she whispered. Alara reached for her hand. You won't. Her mother broke down, years of unspoken pain finally pouring out. And Alara listened, not with fear, not with pain, but with understanding. Back in the realm of silence, the dark trembling area began to fade. The keeper smiled as light spread across the land. The strongest silence has been healed, she said. From that day on, Alara no longer saw her gift as a curse. It was a bridge, a way to connect hearts, a way to heal, and though she still heard silence, it no longer felt heavy. Because now, she knew, silence doesn't need to be feared, it just needs to be heard.